Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is a different kind of video that we haven't done in a while. This is a ranking because we've already seen these openings, but they were voted for on our Patreon. 8 endings, excuse me. They were voted for on our Patreon by our patrons at patreon.com/boldcast. As with all of our opening and ending reactions, but we've already seen this. We've actually recorded this video before at the start of our channel, so this is fresh in our mind again. So that's why we're doing this. We're recording this again. We never released that video, but this is going to be very similar to the first video we ever made on our channel, which was a Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 versus Brotherhood openings ranking, because we've obviously seen both shows and we're both a fan of both shows, and we sort of our idea was to find out which show has like the better openings and endings and explain why and like rank them against each other. So the way this is going to work is there's 4 endings for 2003 and then there's 5 endings for Brotherhood. So what's going to happen is we're going to watch the first one of 2003, then the first one of Brotherhood, second one of 2003, second one of Brotherhood, and we're going, after each 2, we're going to compare them. So we're going to watch them back to back, then compare both endings, and decide, like, we're going to tally it up, which one we think is better. And then when we get to the 5th one, obviously Brotherhood just has a 5th one. But then after we've seen all of them, we're going to, and we have a ranking of 1 to 4, which show won, then we're going to take all of them and rank them in a long list for each of us, and then explain our list to each other and sort of argue them in a way, more just talk about them. It's not going to be a huge debate or anything. But yeah, that's basically the idea of the video.
Yeah, if you want to see our very first video, maybe we'll link that
Click
down below.
the eye on the screen right now. You can click on that video and go there right now. See the very first video that we ever recorded. Our second video we ever recorded was a Naruto reaction, I think. No, it might have been it might have been this video, might have been the second one, but we never posted it just because I think it was just going to take too long to edit.
And I think it was kind of bad.
And I don't think it was that good. But we might release it for Patreon. We've been thinking we would release it for Patreon at some point in the future. If you guys really want that, then you can possibly ask for it. But yeah.
Yeah, so this is probably going to be a little bit more messy than our normal opening and ending reactions. Because we've seen the show before, we don't just want to watch the opening, or we don't just want to watch it and be like, oh wow, I remember this, haha, that was so good, and then just leave it at that, because that's not really content, because there's nothing new that we're seeing. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're doing the ranking, and it might be a little bit more all over the place than our normal videos, but it will definitely be better than the first time we did it, I hope.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Hope you guys enjoy the reaction. Hope you leave a like, or the review and ranking of all of these endings. We hope you leave a like on the video, and we hope you enjoy it. If you want, you can subscribe. Stay tuned for future stuff. But I think we're just going to get into this ending 1. Let's go. Of 2003. I think this one might be my favorite.
This one's so good. Aww. So sad.
I really like that one. I love the song. The visuals aren't as strong, but this is the wrong video. All right, now we're moving on to anything you want to say quickly before we get into it?
I feel like maybe we should... Do you think we should save it and say them both at the same time?
Sure. Okay, next one. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood ending 1. It's so different.
Yeah. The whole vibe is completely different.
I love how they use the English for the speech bubbles. That's kind of interesting. Funimation! Holy shit. I'm gonna cancel my fucking subscription one of these days. I swear to God. It's gonna do it again, watch. Completely ruins it. Yeah. Holy fuck, Funimation. I swear to God, I hate you so much. God damn it, fix your shit. Why are you using this dog shit player? You hired one guy to make this shitty fucking video player on your stupid website. God damn. How many times do I need to does everyone need to scream at you for you to fix your bullshit website? And also, why does it mute it whenever I click to adjust the volume? I need to mute the video in order to adjust the volume. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, barring all of Funimation's dog shit, what do you think of that ending?
I think for this one, the clear winner for me, and has always been, is 2003. For this first opening, from the first moment that I saw this Brotherhood ending, I did not like it.
Why?
I'll have to admit, I think the art style originally really put me off. And then now I admit that it's better than I originally thought, especially watching it with the lyrics. The lyrics really fit.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to get the lyrics for 2003 as well, but literally couldn't I think we just couldn't find them anywhere. Not even on Netflix.
Isn't 2003 on Funimation?
I couldn't find it on Funimation or Crunchyroll.
Are you sure? Because they dubbed it.
I could only find Brotherhood.
Anyway.
But I do, yeah, I don't know, I really like how different they are. It's kind of interesting to see, and I feel like that really reflects how the show sort of starts off as well. Yeah, see. I think it really reflects how the sort of the tone of the show, especially at the beginning as well. 2003 is a lot darker than Brotherhood, especially at the beginning, and the whole thing with Nina and everything is way darker and way more impactful, at least for me, in 2003. And I think the opening sort of reflects that as well. It's them, like, looking super depressed, and then, like, them happy and playing around, and then, you know. So yeah, for me, 2003 wins on this. I think for a lot of reasons, for the fact that I liked the beginning of 2003 more than I liked the beginning of Brotherhood, as well as the art style and sort of the tone and the theme. Although I do have to say that I really like the song for the Brotherhood ending. The song is really strong, and the lyrics matching sort of what's going on is really strong. Can't speak on the lyrics for 2003 because we couldn't find the English ones, but the 2003 song was really good as well. But I do think, in terms of just song alone, Brotherhood probably wins, but of the whole package, for me, 2003 wins.
Okay, I agree 2003 does win, but I don't know how I can quantify it, because the Brotherhood ending is clearly better in every way. Like, the song fits way more, just the tone of the song fits way more, it tells more of a coherent story. The fact that it ends off with the actual brothers drawing everything, as like kids and everything is really interesting, and it kind of breaks the fourth wall in that way. It's kind of cool. There's a lot more interesting shit going on in the Brotherhood one, but the 2003 one just has a lot more personality, and it's something that you can't account for just with song choice and animation alone. It just it's really difficult for me to justify that because it's not quantifiable. I really like the strong, solid colors. I really like the I don't know, just the aesthetic in general. And I think I said the same thing in the previous recording of this video, but yeah, that's my entire reasoning. If it wasn't based on personal opinion, if we're basing it on quality alone, then obviously the Brotherhood one wins, and that goes for pretty much every ending and opening in Brotherhood and Brotherhood
even
in
the
general.
shows in general.
Yeah, that's it's not even it's not even subjective. It's a completely objective case that Brotherhood is objectively a better show on every scale than 2003, including the openings and endings. But there's something missing in Brotherhood in general that I think a lot of people like from 2003, and that is the sort of early 2000s aesthetic and the sort of sharpness, the edginess, the sort of the raw personality of it. That is also why I don't like it as much in a way, because it doesn't have it loses that consistency that Brotherhood has, but it does have more personality. So that's why I would prefer the 03 version of this ending, personally. Alrighty, next one. So now we're going over to 2003 ending 2. Let's go.
I really like this song. I forgot how much I liked it.
One thing I want to say that I really like from that one that I just noticed that I never noticed before is I don't know how I didn't notice it. Maybe I just skipped it too many times when I was actually watching the show. But how everything's like, obviously it's obvious when he's holding up both of his hands, and then the snow's melting on his like flesh hand, and then on the metal one it's like staying there. But then it like goes over the shoulder to Al, and he's like covered in the snowflakes, and then he's looking at Ed. I don't know. It's a cool detail, and I guess I just never know. I don't know how I didn't, because that's like the entire point of the last part of this ending. But yeah, that's just something really cool I noticed. Anything you want to say before we move on?
I'll save it because it's just about 2003 endings and in general.
Okay. Alrighty, Brotherhood ending 2. I'm gonna lose my shit on Funimation as soon as it's about to get so good. Like, literally every time it's about to get so good, Funimation's player completely shits the bed. And I think the only reason it is because we loaded all of these beforehand.
Maybe we should reload the page and just go for the next ones. I'm really sorry.
Holy fuck. So which one, what's your opinion on between those two?
I feel like this one's a little bit harder for me. Because these ones were actually a little bit similar.
Yeah.
With sort of the theme of them of, throwback to the childhood and, where you're from and where you're going and the journey and why you're on the journey, it's sort of a lot about that. But I do want to say, and this is what I was thinking after we finished 2003, I feel like 2003, just sort of in general, but also just in these past two endings, you can really feel the longing and, frustration, but determination and hope, sort of all at once. But I feel like it goes, and I feel like that is also in, Brotherhood, to, there's definitely that, looking forward and being ready for what's coming and moving forward. But I feel like, I don't know, I just feel more, and it's probably just personal bias from, watching the shows and my experience watching the shows, but I just feel, I just feel it so much more in 2003, if that, I don't know. I just can, the everything, the song, the visuals, the tone of everything, I don't know. I can just really feel what they were going for, and even though when I see the lyrics for Brotherhood, I'm like, oh wow, this works so well. But I don't see the lyrics for 2003, but I still feel like I really know what they're trying to say. Mm-hmm. Without anything else. And just, especially, just this is the last part that I also never noticed, because I think maybe we did, skip this one or something, because I remember the song for this one for 2003. I really like the song, but I totally forgot about it until we were listening to it. But this last bit with, Ed and Al and the snowflakes, that's a really impactful image that we're seeing there.
Yeah.
And then the change, Al looking at Ed, and then Ed, looking forward and putting a determined look on his face. In the first one, for 2003, at the end, Ed was looking so sad, he was almost crying, and then he smiled anyway. Mm-hmm. And then in this one, he's okay, mm-hmm. And I just really like that. But this one's really hard. I don't just want to say 2003 for all of them, even, but I don't know, I really like this one. I really like the song, even though this one's way less of a clear choice for me, because I do, the part of this ending where it was just them as kids with, that filter on it, maybe wasn't as good as sort of what they were showing in Brotherhood, but I don't know, I really like this one. And
oh, go ahead, sorry. I thought you were done.
And I did like the different colors, the weird rainbow effect on the, sketched out
In which one?
In this one.
Where's that?
Multiple places, I think. Yeah, at the beginning there.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of interesting, but that's the sort of thing that 2003 does, is where they have these crazy bright colors with black. Mm-hmm. It's black and crazy colors, and it just kind of works. It just sort of, it shouldn't really work, but it kind of works at the same time. And I think that's also just the sort of the personality of the show, we were talking about before. They just can do it, mm-hmm. and it just works.
I pretty much 100% disagree. The only thing that I really liked about the 2003 ending is that last shot. But if you look at how much space it takes up, it's almost it's a third of the entire ending, and then most of the other shit is just still frames, and that's literally it.
I-
There's nothing going on. So if we're judging it off of, as far as my personal opinion, if we're judging it based on like the artistry and like the sort of pulse of what's going on, I don't feel that as strongly in this version as I do in the Brotherhood version of this, or even more than I do in the first. The first ending, I felt that personality a lot more. In this one, it seems like a cheap way to tug at your heartstrings, except for the last part. The last part is good, but because this doesn't have that like heart that I was talking about in the first one, to me, I didn't feel as strongly about this one personally. Because it didn't grab me in that way, I don't give it as many points for the artistry of its visuals. Whereas the Brotherhood version constantly, it's full, like it never uses still for. I don't think, maybe it does, but it doesn't really use still frames. The clouds are moving. They find a way to add motion to these images, and some of the images are really striking. I wish we weren't watching on Funimation's stupid player, because it's garbage and we can't find the one shot that I wanted to find of Al standing. Maybe we can. Of Al standing in the sunset. Or maybe that's a different one. That might be a different ending. That's a different ending that I was thinking of that comes later in Brotherhood. But as far as striking imagery and a powerful song, I feel like this one hit me way harder personally. And they actually, instead of just showing pictures or like sort of images of them as kids, this one showed a literal like bulletin board of pictures of them growing up and actual footage, like animation of them buying the ingredients to bring back their mom in the store, which is far more, I think it's a far better use of time than just showing an image for like 15 seconds with like a film grain filter over it. They just had more, and it's clear that they just had more to work with, so it's kind of like this whole comparison in a way is kind of unfair because the situation where both of these shows were made is completely different. But if I'm judging it, like, since the first one didn't make me feel as strongly, I can't give it the points that I usually would give. Like, I can't equalize it because, you know, 2003 usually has that edge of having that strong personality and that strong heart and soul that is kind of missing in Brotherhood. In this ending, I feel like the balance has shifted completely in the opposite direction.
Well, I was actually going to say, I still think I would give Brotherhood the win on this one, because even though I think what's really pulling me through on 2003 is that last scene and the song, which I just prefer the song better. Mm-hmm. But like I said, they're so close that if those are like the things that are like sort of making me want to go to 2003, that's not really enough. Mm-hmm. Even though my immediately thought, just because I like the song and the aesthetic, I want to go with that one, but I know that that's not actually the one that I think is better. Mm-hmm. I just like the song more, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think for this one, Brotherhood wins for me.
I agree.
But this one was closer for me than last time.
Okay. Ending Fullmetal Alchemist 2003, ending 3. Let's go. Oh. Welcome to the bottom of the list. It's so bad. The song isn't terrible, but it doesn't really fit, and it's just Winry. That's the whole thing.
But it's not even Winry. It's just Winry in weird dresses.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's just her
Winry.
character design. It's not Winry as a character. They're just this is what I was talking about in the Overlord video of they just use, it's a studio using the cute girl to like as, you know, a point of advertisement or like to help make it stick in your mind. And like, what is that in the background? Oh, it's just the show and like synopsis of the show in the background. It's so bad. Like, what is this Daisy Duke fucking?
I really don't like this one. Also, who carries their dog like that?
No one. I feel like we didn't need to watch that, and we don't even need to watch the next one to know that this is a win for Brotherhood. Yeah. but we will anyway. Yes.
Yeah. And it's perfect because I'm pretty sure this is also the Winry ending.
It is.
Which is perfect to compare the two, because I already know that this is a better version of a Winry ending. If you're going to do the girl ending, this is how you do the girl ending.
Let's go. Okay, I'm praying Funimation doesn't make me want to kill myself in this next ending, because holy shit if they do it again. Yeah, not even a contest. And the thing about that I think, number one, it's not just focusing on just Winry, it's focusing on other female characters. So like they made a girl ending, but it's not just about one girl. And they show like the Winry, and maybe okay, so there's two things. They're like Winry, they showed off Winry in both of them, but the way they showed off Winry in this one was more realistic to her character.
Yeah.
And the fact that she comes off as like attractive is just a product of her being an attractive character and being an actual person, like acting in a situation. Whereas in the first one, it felt like a fucking like Playboy shoot or something. It was super weird. It felt like
weird, like the like camera is like swooping around as she's like.
And it's not like you can't say in this case. It's like it's not like they spent a significant amount more time or money on this ending, the Brotherhood one, than they did on the 2003 one, because that shot alone in the 2003 one must have taken a decent amount of time. Like they clearly spent a good amount of time making the 2003 ending. So it's not even like, usually there's a difference between like, okay, obviously the production value is higher in Brotherhood, and in 2003 it has something different that Brotherhood like can't quite quantify. In this case, the productions seem to be roughly equal, but the song choice was better and fit way more in Brotherhood, and fucking just like if you're and also if you're going to show off the cute girl character being cute, don't show her off being like not even the character. Like show her off being the character and doing the things that makes her cute, like getting pissed off at Ed and caring about people, and like also like we talked about this I think in the previous time that we recorded this. They're showing her in her life is the thing. They're showing her like, because at this point in the story we like leave her in I forget the name of this place, Doubleth, right? No, Doubleth is where Teacher's from. Rush Valley, that's where this is. They were going to Doubleth and they dropped Winry off on the way. So we don't see her pretty much in this entire point of the story. So it's awesome that we have an ending where we see her, what her life is like. She's like clearly, you know, busy during the day, but at night she's like thinking about Ed and like what's he doing and all this shit. Like it gives you an insight into her character without having to cut to her for no reason during the actual show. So it's not only just an artistic way of showing it, and you're showing this cute girl being cute, you're also informing the audience about what is going on outside of the story without taking time away from the story to do so. It's a very economist way, as far as from a production standpoint, of doing that, and it's really awesome to see. This is like not even just better than the 2003 one. In my opinion, this is like one of the better endings that I've seen, as far like if all things considered from any show. This is this is an example of a really good ending, and they didn't even go that ham on the animation. It was pretty much all still frames, I think, except for like some shots of
she was like moving slightly.
Yeah, and Mei was like whatever walking around with wait, is it Mei Chang with Xiao Mei? Yeah. So clear winner for Brotherhood there. I don't know if it's one of the best in the whole series for me, but it's one of the best that I've ever seen because
really
this has
smart.
high quality endings. Yes, it's very smart.
For the reasons that you described, it's like if you want an excuse, or if you want to do a girl ending, which a lot of anime does, this I genuinely feel like this is the way to do it, because you can still get, oh, the girl and she's looking so cute and so pretty or whatever, but at least it's still Winry, not just like, oh, it's the girl from the show in doing something that she would not really do and does not suit her personality, or like, oh, it's the girls from the show but at the beach in bathing suits for literally the show is not at the beach. And I know you already sort of touched on this, and we talked about it, and I know for sure we talked about it last time, is that it makes total sense, the point in the story, to put this ending of, okay, everyone really loves Winry as a character, and if she's not being featured as much because she's in a completely different place doing her own thing, it's literally just the perfect way to do this kind of ending.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that we got to see her personality still. So yeah, good job.
Yeah, it's really dope. So easy win for Brotherhood there. Now we're going to ending 4 of 2003, before we get to Brotherhood ending 4, and then Brotherhood ending 5. So, let's go. I remember this one not being that great. I like that. That's Pocket
really
Watch.
Cool.
Oh my god, it's so loud. Not that great, in my opinion.
Yeah. No.
Very weak ending for, like, the ending of the endings. Like, for the end of the series, to have an ending this weak is kind of a shame. Because I think, like, I love the first one because it has a lot of personality, and the show, because I respect the show a lot because it has a lot of personality, but it seems like at this point they were just relying on the coolness of, like, the setting and the character designs, and the fact that Ed has, like, the fucking automail arms and shit, or limbs and shit. Like, they prominently showed him using alchemy on his arm to turning it into, like, the blade or whatever. Yeah.
I like that first shot. But that was, as much as I love 2003, those last two were not great for it.
Alrighty. Last one. Or not the last one. Not the last
Second
one.
last.
Last comparison.
If I remember correctly, this might be the ending that could be the opening.
Yes, you're right. Yes, this is.
So.
It's, yeah, this, okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's awesome. This is such a good way to close out an episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even a comparison.
It's not even fair, really.
Because that's like one of the best endings ever that I've seen. Like that it's not even close. Like everything about that is good. It literally could be an opening. In fact, I think when we did this video the first time, you thought this was an opening, or maybe when we did the opening reactions, you were just like, "Wait, I thought there was one more." And I'm just like, "No, that was an ending." I think there's some confusion like that. Fucking everything about this. I wish I could scroll through it like seamlessly to show everything. But when they even when they showed like even the still frames, like that shot of Mustang just standing there in the rain, it's like it seems really out
weird.
of it looks weird. It feels kind of out of place. But it's really memorable and it works. And then it goes to Mom and Pops, and then it goes to this like opening 2 of 2003-esque callback to all of the characters across a cloudy blue sky, showing off all their abilities. Yeah. It's awesome. This ending's awesome. I love when one of my favorite moments is obviously at the start. It's such a crazy high octane way to have like the Philosopher's Stone lightning like come in. And then you see the underground transmutation circle underneath, I think, Central. I don't think that's the, like, nationwide one. But it's so awesome. It's so cool. And it's such a great way. The one thing I love about this ending is the way they use that transition to, to their advantage in the show. It's one thing that the Brotherhood endings I think do better than 2003, and one thing that they do right in general is that they don't leave the endings to be just an end card for their whole thing. They use it to enhance the emotions of the story or to add something to it. They use it as a tool, not just as a piece of filler to like fill time for credits. It's that next level thinking that a production can do that really elevates it to the next level. It makes it way more memorable. And when Ed's blocking the fucking the shadows with his arm, and it goes to the tune of the guitar, and then when Winry's fucking walking down the hallway, it's awesome.
Badass, yeah.
Yeah, easy win for Brotherhood.
Out of all of them, this is the ending that could be an opening. A lot of if a show goes on long enough, they're bound to have one of those. And this is that one.
True. Anything else you want to say before we get to the last one?
No, there's not too much to talk about with that one. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's hard to compare those ones because it's not really a contest.
True. Okay, now bonus reaction. It's just the last Brotherhood one. Fuck. Funimation kicked us out again. Okay. Yeah, I really like this ending. As I recall, it's not my favorite, but it is good. Okay, finally. Yeah, so I'm going to pull up the lyrics, but 1 second, I'll do that first. Okay, so the lyrics, the reason I love this ending, and this obviously isn't part of the ranking, which we'll get to in a second, but so the reason this is so good is because this once again they're using the ending in a way that complements the show, not just as like a bumper for the credits. So the last line of it is like, there will be a rain. So I forget what at least. Hang on, let's actually read it maybe if I can find it really quickly.
A rainbow will appear.
A rainbow will appear. So the opening that's playing while this ending is playing is the darkest fucking opening in the series.
Rain.
And it's called Rain. The song is called Rain. So after the rain, a rainbow will appear. And it mirrors what happens at the end. It's a bit of foreshadowing that's subtle, but it's also really melancholy to where it doesn't like give away the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very poignant and interesting way. It's a very interesting way of saying something very simple yet poignant. It's really cool. It's a really cool dynamic that they use both the opening and the ending to complement both each other and the greater story that's happening without giving away the ending. It's really cool. It's foreshadowing, and it's fucking awesome. It's really interesting and cool. So since that day, I decided to never cry. And like, I wish we could have watched lyrics while this is happening. So like the song, it's depending on who is on the screen, because it's still frames of the characters. Depending on who is on the screen, like the song is saying is as if it's coming from one person's perspective, but the lyrics take on new meaning depending on who is on screen. So when it says, "I want to become stronger than I am today, so that my voice will reach you someday," I think it's showing the dwarf in the flask as he's trapped in the flask, father as he's trapped in the flask, and then so I will reach you someday. You might be thinking that I this is what I remember saying in the previous recording, but so outside of the ending, you'd be thinking, oh, this is just like a romantic line statement. In this context of showing the dwarf in the flask, he wants to become stronger than I am today, so that my voice will reach you someday. He's talking to God and like the power that he wants to reach. I keep on walking in the windstop. I looked at the sky, searching for you. Light will beam out ahead of dawn. Like, and that's just one example. I wish that we could have found a version with the lyrics, but we just couldn't. But the lyrics, it's really interesting. And not only does like the sort of end line and the whole thing kind of complement the opening in a cool way, but although the content of the song, it means one thing, given the visuals that are put on screen, they aren't just cool visuals or like, oh, here's the characters from the show. They choose to show you different characters depending on the lyric that's being said to change the meaning slightly of the lyric and present a different interpretation of the song. Because depending on which character you show in each part, a different meaning can be derived from the lyrics. That's really awesome, and that's what makes it like a really cool, transformative, like really artful way of displaying this. It's fucking so cool, and they do it in an interesting way, just on semantic content alone, not even having anything to do with animation. It's fucking so good. It's such a good ending, and I think it's really underrated. I'm gonna give that the edge over 2003 personally. But what did you think of that one?
Yeah, it's not my favorite, but I do really appreciate just sort of all the Brotherhood endings. But I can't like really give them the edge on this too much because I don't know the lyrics for 2003, because apparently the English lyrics don't exist anywhere.
This isn't we're not comparing.
I know, but no, I'm saying
Oh.
sort of in general, since there's nothing to compare this to. But I want to comment on the lyrics is that like all of them have been really strong.
Lyrically
at sort of matching up what's going on with what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a trend for all the Brotherhood endings, and I wish that we could have seen the lyrics for 2003,
yeah,
so that we could make that comparison. But just as a whole, Brotherhood did a really good job of that.
Brotherhood, I don't even think we needed to like take a tally. Brotherhood is clearly like, they have some of the best endings ever. Like it's difficult to top what they did as far as like relating story to not only the visuals, but also using the song to complement that as well. That's kind of rare. Usually they just throw whatever song on like visuals that tell a story. But rarely do they have the artistry to use both of them for one goal. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so obviously Brotherhood overall has the better endings, other than the very first one. That was the only one that 2003 won for me.
Mm-hmm.
Same for you?
Yes, I put 03 above Brotherhood there, but objectively speaking, Brotherhood definitely had a better opening. Mm-hmm. It's just the personal impact. I put 2003 above Brotherhood, but as far as quality, I think that it would be fair to say that Brotherhood was 100% better on all of them, even the first one. But now we're gonna get into the rankings, and I think we're just gonna come right back and like discuss that, unless anything comes up. Discuss it kind of off camera, because it's really difficult to.
We have to go through them and check them out. And I was just gonna say I feel like this part is a lot more. Like, we agreed on a lot of this, but I think we might differ on this next list.
Okay. So what is your... Hello, everybody. We're back now. What's your... Let's do your list first. What's your pick for...
the worst one?
The worst to best. Your whole list.
Number 1 worst ending is...
Brotherhood opening 5. Or ending 5. Right?
Yes. No. It's 2003 number 3. I think that's pretty obvious. 2003 ending 4 comes in 8th place, second worst. Just didn't have much there. Brotherhood opening 3 is next. Then Brotherhood ending 5, Brotherhood ending 4, Brotherhood ending 1, 2003 ending 2, Brotherhood 2, 2003 1.
So your top 3 are... In first place is 2003 1. Second place is Brotherhood 2, so let it all out, and then 2003 number 2. That's an interesting top ranking. So mine, from worst to best, are the Winry ending for 2003. 2003 ending 3 is my worst. Then in 8th place, 2003 ending 4. 7th place, 2003 ending 2. Then Brotherhood, 6th place is Brotherhood ending 1. Then above that is Brotherhood ending 3. Above that is Brotherhood ending 2, then 2003 ending 1, and then 4, and then in my top place, Brotherhood ending 4, and then in my top place is Brotherhood ending 5. So, my top 3 are Brotherhood ending 5, Brotherhood ending 4, and then 2003 ending 1. Do you want to talk about your philosophy? Why do you list things in that way? First of all, why how about this? Why is 2003 1 better than Brotherhood ending 2 for you?
For like because those are my top 2.
Yeah. What made you put 2003 number 1 above Brotherhood 2?
Okay, I can just say above everything. The reason why it's number 1 for me is because I feel like it kind of, I don't know, captures a lot of what I really like about the show. And like that's just kind of personal preference. But I think it is a good ending in general. Even without that, it has a lot of good things going on, like bright colors, interesting moments, a lot of like feeling behind it, and you can really tell like you can tell that there's a lot of emotion in it, and like what they're trying to say with that ending, and I really like that. But what puts it above everything for me is because to me that one really captures what I personally, like, in my heart, like really feel. A lot of it is like really what I feel when I think of Fullmetal Alchemist, and why I liked it in the first place, and why I would watch it again, and why I, in my heart, prefer 2003 to Brotherhood. It's just sort of like everything that I really like about it is sort of captured in that first ending. And same for me, why Brotherhood ending 2 is in spot number 2, because that sort of sums up what I like about Brotherhood. I think, like, I feel like that one really captures a lot of what I like about the whole story in general and specifically about Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
I think. So those are my top 2, and those are why. How about for you?
So yeah, I actually, everything you said about 2003 ending 1, I think the exact same thing. That pretty much sums up my opinion of 2003 ending 1. But the reason I didn't put it at the top is because I can see that, and it's kind of worn off for me. If I had just seen both of them once, like you, like back in the day when I was first watching, I probably would have put it at number 1. The nostalgia factor is still there for me for the first ending, and it's really strong, and it does also sum up for me what I like about 2003. But it doesn't have the impact on like in the context of the story as a whole, because 4 and 5 from Brotherhood really heightened the story itself, and it had purpose outside of just being a cool and like interesting looking thing. It actually said something about the story. It used, like 5 in particular, like I said, used the song in conjunction with the visuals and the story they were telling to create a completely different dynamic and transform the original meaning of the song. It's like all of that. It goes above like what I would expect from a normal ending. Both of those do. At least number 5 does. The reason number 4 is above number 1 because 03 number 1 is in my number 3 spot. Brotherhood number 4 is in my number 2 spot beneath my favorite of Brotherhood number 5. The reason Brotherhood number 4 is above 03 to number 1 is because it doesn't reach the same heights emotionally and contextually as number 5 does. But number 4, again, it's the ending that can be an opening, and they use it again to heighten your emotions in the story. And then we could go deeper into the ones beneath that, but I feel like they kind of speak for themselves with what we said going on.
Yeah, I think especially for me, like my first 3 and my last 2 are like solid, and then the middle ones I literally shuffled them around like 5 times.
I picked them pretty quick. I just wrote down, like, I pretty much knew already.
I struggled with it a bit more because for me, the ones that I know are better are not the ones that I like and remember and like stand out to me from the show when I hear Brotherhood.
Wait, you put Brotherhood 1 above the other Brotherhood endings? Really? I thought you didn't like them.
Then I felt weird about, like, I had it here first.
Oh my god.
And
I
then
I thought that was like your least favorite one overall.
And it is, and I don't know why. I just did that at the last second for literally no reason.
Do you need more time?
Maybe I should go with like here. I'll tell you what I had. I'll tell you what I had first for those.
Why don't you just come up with one list instead of 50? And why did you switch it? You openly say that ending 1 is shit. You openly said when we were watching the show originally, and in the last time we recorded this, and during this recording, that it wasn't your favorite and that it was probably near the bottom.
And
but you still put it above. I
felt weird about it. I don't know why.
But you put it above all the other Brotherhoods. And obviously over the 2003 ones, but like, what? You openly say that you didn't like that one. That doesn't make any sense, even with what you said.
I'll tell you. Maybe I should say my original list because maybe that is actually better. I'll just say it right now. You don't have to. It's 2000 number 1, 2003 1, number 2 Brotherhood 2, number 3 2003 2, number 4 Brotherhood 4, number 5 Brotherhood 5. Number 6 Brotherhood 3 and number 7 Brotherhood 1 and then 8 and 9. It's like
wait, and then 8 and 9? Wait, what?
8 is 2003 4 and 9 is 2003 3. So I just feel like those are kind of self-explanatory.
Well, not quite, because I don't know. I guess yeah, they kind of are, but still.
I don't know. I literally just like reshuffled them like 5 million times, and I don't know. I still feel like I can't quite settle on it because the things that I don't know, because I really like the ending 3 because when I hear that ending, I immediately think of Fullmetal Alchemist, and I am like,
wait, which one?
Brotherhood ending 3, the Winry ending.
Oh, okay. Really? We didn't even watch it that much. We watched it maybe twice.
But for some reason, I just remember that song and really associate it with when I was watching it. And then even though Brotherhood ending 4, it's like the ending that could be the opening, it's not like, it's not like as great for me still. And then ending 5, although I don't really like it that much, I do like that it's very, like that it works with the opening in that way. And
what even, wait, is 5 above 3?
No, 3 was above 5 in my, or I don't know.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, after a reordering of this list for like this, I think the 7th time?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4,
You have to
5,
count
6.
the times that you crossed. This is like the 10th time. Be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you a second to figure this one out. Jesus Christ. I'm going to make you edit this one. Since it's like not due for a couple weeks, you can make it work. This is your video. No, I'm not gonna make you do that.
It's utter trash. Gets blocked or channel gets taken down.
I thought you liked Brotherhood 3 more than...
I do, but I
thought you liked it 3 more than 5. Why are you putting 3 below 5 if you said you liked it more than 5?
I just like the song kind of more than...
Of 5?
But I also like the song of 5.
What? Why are you making this so complicated? Just pick what you like the most and try to explain why you like it the most.
Okay.
My God, you're doing another list! Another one?
No, this is the last one.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
Now see, this kind of reflects... But wait, so you like the second Brotherhood more than the third Brotherhood?
Yeah.
You didn't say that. You never said that.
Brotherhood opening 2
Really?
was my number 2 the entire time.
Okay. I never thought... Okay. I thought that you really liked the Winry one a lot more.
I really like it, but and I really think of the show when I hear it, but it's not like my number 1.
But it's below number 4, which you...
Because I still do like number 4, but it's not like in my it's not in my top 3.
Okay, so I'll read it out, and then you just listen and see if this tracks. So your list, your final list, that is going to be engraved on your headstone after you die, is number 1 is 2003 ending 1. Number 2 is Brotherhood ending 2. Number 3 is 2003 ending 2. Number 4 is Brotherhood ending 4. Number 5 is Brotherhood ending 3. Number 6 is Brotherhood ending 3? 5. Number 6 is Brotherhood ending 5. Number 7 is Brotherhood ending 1. Number 8, like me as well, is 2003 ending 4. Number 9 is 2003 ending 3.
Yeah.
So you agree with that? Why? Can you explain that list?
Okay. I've already explained my top 3 mostly. I didn't say why 2003 number 2 is in there. I just really like that one. I know it's not that great, but I just couldn't bring myself to put it below the Brotherhood ones. Brotherhood ending in 4th place is Brotherhood ending 4, because it is the ending that could be an opening. It's really good. It has a for me, like, the feeling isn't as much there. It is a little bit, and there's some shots that I really like from it, but it wasn't good enough for me to, like, make it into the top 3. But it is very close, and it is really good. So that's why it's in number 4. Number 5 is Brotherhood ending 3. It's not that, it's the girl ending, but for some reason and we didn't even watch it, like Carson is even reminding me, we didn't even watch it that much. So I don't know why I so strongly associate it with the show. But I do. And I really like it. And I like Winry. She's pretty cool. Brotherhood ending 5 comes next, mostly because I like the song. Some of the visuals are okay for me. Some of them are really good. But like Carson said, the lyrics really add the second layer to that opening, and I really appreciate Brotherhood openings in general for that, but specifically that one, which is why it's above Brotherhood Ending 1, which is, I never liked from the second I saw it. For some reason, when I was putting this list, I felt like I had to put it above the other ones for, I literally don't know why. Maybe I got nostalgic about it for a second, but, I don't, when I first saw it, I, like, actually hated it. I definitely don't hate it
Wait, which
anymore.
one are we even talking about right now?
Brotherhood Ending 1.
Okay, sorry.
But,
Sorry, which number is that? I, like, completely zoned out while you were explaining the same thing over again. Oh, so this is the 7th place. Okay.
Yeah, 7th place, Brotherhood Ending 1. It's alright. I appreciate that they took a chance on that ending style, but I didn't really like it.
Okay. But for some reason you put it above all the other ones?
I don't know, I just got confused at the last second.
How could you get confused? How is that possible? I don't... What is confusing you about what you personally like? It's completely subjective. Your list is completely subjective. You aren't even trying to be, like, objective with it.
I was trying to be, and then I wasn't.
Okay. Jesus Christ. And you wonder why we can only put out so many videos per week. Jesus. It's because of shit like this. I've just spent... This recording, by the way, I don't know how long this video is going to be. This recording is an hour and a half long. And literally a third of that was Lindsay rewriting her lists. Just so you know. I think that's it. I think that's it. We did have the one thing to say now that I mention it. We both had the same last two picks. Although it's interesting that my Brotherhood or 032 was my 7th place above the worst two, and it was your
third
place. So that's kind of interesting. I do know what you mean, though. I just didn't feel that nostalgic about it because I think by that time, when I was originally watching the show, I was literally just skipping that one every time. But I do understand the nostalgia factor with it. It is pretty decent. But all of Brotherhood's endings are just so good that it feels kind of dishonest for me to put it above any of those.
I felt really guilty about it, and that's why I also kept rearranging the Brotherhood, because I was like, how do I make this, like, feel a little bit not so weird about putting that one in 3rd place, but I just kind of had to.
Wait, that's actually why? Wait, hang on. Do you know why? You keep saying, I don't know why, I got confused. Oh, did you get confused, or were you trying to, like, fit something that you thought was right? Why are you so, like,
because
jumpy about it?
I don't know, because I feel like they're in a different order depending on how much I let myself be objective or, like, just not care about being objective. Okay. Which is why I was asking you while we were making the list, does I just like it better can be a reason.
Well, like I said while we were discussing it, it's more than just, do you like it? Like, I like all of these a lot, but there has to be some sort of justification for it in order for me to list them, like, in order of, like, I listed them in order of, I think, relevance or significance. That's kind of if I had to, like, boil it down to a word, that was what I was going for. And some of that had to do with how I was impacted personally, but it more had to do with what did it add. What was it? What was the purpose of this as an ending? Was the purpose of it, other than 2003? See, I also made concessions where 2003 number 1 was the first one, and that was purely based on, like, nostalgia and, like, not really a quantifiable thing of personality. But I still think that it is really significant as an ending because it's the first one in the whole series. But, like, that was basically the thing, is I was thinking, what makes all of these better? Number 5 is better because of all the reasons I've already talked about. It is significant beyond it just being a bumper at the end of an episode of anime. It says something about the story. It says something about each of the characters depending on which one is on screen at a given time during the song. And it relates itself both to the greater whole of the story and all of the lore in the past with all of Hohenheim stuff, and even more interestingly, to the opening. It is a the rainbow after the rain of the opening. That's really cool and significant. It's a very significant detail in like the medium of anime and in the medium of creating ending themes. That's kind of the mindset that I was going into it with. With you, I have no idea. I don't think you know what you were trying to do with that.
I was just kind of thinking of like.
That's what I mean by like, because you were just like, is I liked it a good reason? It's like, well, you liked most of them, so I guess not, because we're ranking them. That's the whole point. It's like, if you're ranking it, that's a different thing than, because if you're just, oh, I like all of these, it's like, well, that's not a hierarchy, that's not a ranking. That's just you saying you like, which is fine. But if we're doing a ranking, that was my thing. Anyway. Yeah,
I know. I'm not very good at ranking stuff, just in general. I think we had the same issue the first time we made this video.
We did.
And the same issue with our openings video as well.
Exactly. That's kind of why we didn't keep doing this for other for other series, because it just took way too long for you to come up with a basic list on something like totally innocuous. So if you're wondering why this is in all of our videos, now you know, because
make a list, which is probably my list, and then I second guess it to the point that it's not even what I want, and then I have to redo it.
Hope you guys enjoy. That's what you want to say to close it out. If you guys want, okay, here's the thing. If you guys want to see more videos like this, we'd be happy to make them. Like, I like doing stuff like this. It's a little more interesting than just reactions. There's kind of something else to do. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, we wouldn't be opposed to it if you guys enjoy it and want to see more like list-based stuff or discussion-based things.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of stuff that I want to do with Ghibli movies, ranking them. Although ranking is very hard for me, and that is a
maybe this isn't the right. This is why we actually talk about this off camera, because we've been wanting to do this video of Ghibli films, ranking Ghibli films from like in multiple lists. What we would recommend to a new viewer, what we think our like qualitative best to worst personal ranking based on whatever criteria we think is most relevant. And like, yeah, and each what we would recommend to new people. Like, there's a couple ideas of like Ghibli movies and other shit, like lists that we would want to make, videos like this. But I think maybe it just isn't the right format. Maybe in this case, I think it's the right format. But in something like that, maybe, I don't know. Would you guys want to see us more content like this, or like non-reaction stuff? I think that's a worthwhile question. And like, I know the people who made it this far like us, and of course would want to see it. But what would you like to see different to this format, or like what are some ideas
better,
you guys? Yeah. What more would you want to see like this?
Video essay style thing, or like more of a discussion about a show that we've both seen, or like compare? Do you like the comparing aspect? I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, leave your ideas and your thoughts in the comments, but we hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye. Thank you to all of our patrons, especially those in the Student Council.
Zenge,
John Ortega,
Aurora,
Lewis,
Christian Bay,
Kage Uzumaki,
Dreadful XR,
Xiao Lao,
Brian,
Handicap Bonkai,
D23L,
Charles Liu,
Jude Caspino Buford,
Nick Psycho,
Michael Wells,
King Mr. Mew,
Rifleman Z51,
Thelmus Celetius,
Brandon Bruce,
Yankee,
Vanonian,
Yuki Ali,
Mord Tarragon,
Josh Carey Gray,
Jordan Agnew,
Lolly Convict,
Redacted,
Zachary Porth,
Mohammed Burnham Ahmed,
Michael E. Zabel,
Callum Forsyth,
Nicholas Woody,
Soma Yukahara,
Dogs Free,
It's Your Boy Dom,
Christian Nielsen,
Phantom,
Quant Tuggle,
Proyectos Informatica,
Sugar Daddy Alex,
Tara,
Hunter Wayne Germany. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.